After so many years of being on YouTube, today we're finally going to see what's on my phone. Hi guys, it's Magali. This is my first what's on my phone. I have wanted to make one since I had a YouTube channel really. This is an old staple kind of video, like monthly favorites, like empties, like what's in my bag. There's also what's on my phone. We all know that there is some certain voyeuristic pleasure into looking into other people's like personal areas, like their phones and purses and living spaces and all of that. So let's not get into the psychology behind why these videos are quite a lot of fun. I used to be an Apple user all the way. I had a BlackBerry before that, but we're not talking Blackberries, like we're talking about proper smartphones. So my first smartphone was an iPhone 4, then I got an iPhone 5, then I got an iPhone 6 Plus, then I got an iPhone 7. Whichever phone I get just starts to be a little bit sluggish and a little bit not so great after 2 years are done, so that is generally when I upgrade. So those were quite a few iPhones, but for a few years now I have been team Android because I switched from the iPhones to the Google Pixel lineup. My previous Pixel now was the Pixel 3 XL. This is my second Pixel phone, which is the Pixel 4a. I am part of #teampixel here in India, and this phone was provided to me by Google. I've been using it for less than a month now. I did do a vlog on my vlog channel when I unboxed this phone. I think my philosophy for like what apps actually go on it has changed quite a bit compared to my previous phone, and I'm in a more like digital minimalist mindset wherein I only want to have the apps that I use and need and not any kind of extra distraction. The Pixel 4a comes with just one configuration, so there aren't different colors or sizes or anything else. You get 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gigabytes of RAM, and I came onto using this from using the larger size 3XL phone. So you can see there's a little bit of a size difference. Of course, the 3XL does not have a case right now and the 4A has a case. There are both upsides and downsides to moving to a regular size phone from a larger size one. I do kind of miss the larger screen size, but then I love how ergonomic this phone feels in my hand. The case that I have on right now is by the Korean brand Spigen. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description bar. So when I moved away from iPhones, it kind of became more difficult to get good cases because every brand makes cases for iPhones, but then if you go to pretty much any other phone, it's a little bit harder to find a cute case. Came in this really cute Ziploc pouch which is reusable. It has these changeable buttons at the side, so you could put gray buttons, but it comes with these really cool color block orange buttons which I absolutely love. So I'm never going to use the boring gray buttons. I always look for this lip when I buy a case, so that if your phone kind of falls face down, then the screen is protected by the lip over here. Even styled myself today in this t-shirt to kind of match the phone case. It's gray and orange, and so is my t-shirt really. Both the lock screen and the home screen image that I have currently are chosen from the ones that come pre-installed with the Pixel. One thing about the Pixel is it doesn't really have that traditional notch at the center that previous Pixels had. It actually has the camera right in the corner here, this small black dot you see, that is actually the front camera. These wallpapers incorporate that black dot. It kind of looks like it's a window of this spaceship. It is this astronaut floating in outer space, but then it's also very food themed because the astronaut has a fork in his hand. I love sunny side up eggs, so I got so happy when I saw this. And there's a giant grapefruit. Now we unlock the phone and we go onto the home screen. A really nice orangey drink. The straw ends at that little camera notch thingy, which is adorable. I only have like 2 pages to my home screen. I'm sure they're not called pages, but I don't really know what they're called. I didn't really want to clutter my home screen with all of the apps that I have, so I only really put the ones that I'm going to use the most often here. And if I want to access any of the apps that are not in these folders or anything, I can just drag it up and everything is available to me. So if you look at the row of 5 apps that I have right at the bottom of the phone, you'll notice maybe some things are missing, and that's because I don't have my messaging app here and I don't have my phone app here because I don't actually use SMSs that much, Everybody knows we use WhatsApp a lot more. I don't have my phone here because, like most millennials, I actually rarely use the phone part of my smartphone, and I tend to use majorly other apps for any other kinds of communication. So you'll just see my Gmail app, you'll see WhatsApp, there is the browser, Chrome, then there is Spotify to listen to music, of course, because of all of the music streaming apps, Spotify is definitely my favorite. And then of course we have the camera as well. And I have 4 little folders here which I've put different apps in, and I actually didn't name the folders with words. I used different emoji to name them because that just seemed fun to me. And you know, you can place these folders anywhere, but I placed them towards the bottom row because they kind of look like boba to me, like that. So let's start by looking in the first little folder here. So the first 2 apps you'll see are Uber and Ola, because these are the 2 apps which I would use to kind of request a cab or anything. I don't have a vehicle of my own, so when I'm going somewhere, I'm usually dependent on an app like this. And then I also have Urban Company, because that is a utility app, I guess. You can call like a beautician to your home. I only use this app for getting different technicians. I've called a carpenter, and have I called electrician? I'm not sure. It's quite a reliable app like that, and I'm gonna need some work done at home. I don't want to actually like contract big guy because I just have minor jobs to do, so that's when I'm gonna rely on this app again. Then I have Amazon. We all know what Amazon is. Of course I have Amazon on my phone because I shop way too much over there. And if you guys are subscribed to my vlog channel, you know I do Amazon hauls, especially grocery hauls, all of the time really. And then I have Zomato, which is the app that I basically order food from. I have Big Basket to order groceries, so I'll either use them, or there's a section in Amazon called Amazon Fresh, so I will use one or the other to get groceries. And then I also have Ajio here because I was shopping for some things from Muji. I am a little bit of an online shopping addict, so there are many more apps I could install onto my phone, like H&M and Zara or something, but I don't really want the temptation, and I have quite a lot of clothes and stuff, so I don't really want to buy any more. And they all have mobile websites also, so you don't actually have to install the apps on your phone. If you are trying to shop less, avoid installing too many shopping apps on your phone. Really, just keep what you need. Periodically reassess and see whether you need these apps anymore. If you don't need them, you guys should delete them. That's just better, I think. Now we will go into the second section. You will see a camera and a little paint palette here. Very often when it comes to the pixel, I will just click a photo on my phone, edit it and upload it from my phone itself. So I like having apps on there that will help me edit and take like aesthetic images. So the first one is Photoshop Express. I only really use this to make collages. Very often when I'm making a YouTube thumbnail, like even for this what's on my phone, you'll see it's 2 images joined together, right? So in that case, I just stitch them together on Photoshop Express. The next one is Lightroom. Lightroom is kind of a more advanced photo editing software. Here I have a lot of different images. If your phone shoots in RAW and you want to take some really fancy images, you guys should try shooting in RAW and then editing in Lightroom, because it does make quite a big difference. So when you take a RAW image, it will look very flat and dull at first, but it helps you get more out of editing. Like the tweaks in this image are really minor, but this is the before, and then if I lift my finger, that's the after, and I was able to just make some minor changes. Love Lightroom also. We have Visco, of course, which is pretty much my main app for editing my images and giving it that final flavor. I didn't actually use Visco so much on this phone yet because, as I mentioned, it's new. So I was just taking some images of dinner I cooked, because I have a separate Instagram account just for food where I just post food that I make or buy or eat, whatever. And this is a uttapam, and I was really proud of myself because this one was from the first time I made uttapam and it turned out really amazing. And then I think this one was from the second time, and then I have one image of biscuits because I recently made a biscuit tasting video on my second channel. I'm going to link it over there. And I have the Visco subscription, which means I have access to all of the filters. My favorite filters are usually C7, I guess. I've used KA1 for this. This is C7 and this is C8. The C filters are definitely my most used, but I like to vary it sometimes also, so the subscription is absolutely worth it to me. Pixel 4a has gesture navigation, whereas my previous Pixel phone actually had a button navigation, meaning there were no physical buttons, but you kind of had to press buttons on the screen. So it took me like 2 or 3 days to get used to all of this gesture navigation stuff, but once I got used to it, it's so convenient, it's so smooth, it's so quick. I absolutely love it. Now I'm gonna move to the third folder, which is just basically like my social media and communication apps really, and I've tried to reassess what social media I need on my phone. So the first 2 apps on here are my phone and messaging app, which I rarely use, but of course they're both necessary. Next I have Instagram. Yeah, I just like how my feed's been looking lately, I guess. I didn't install Facebook on my phone because I have very little use for it, and I think it's a shitty dying network. I'm just in some fun groups, but I tend to only use it on my computer. The Creator Studio app, however, is Facebook's app for creators, and since I have a Facebook page, I'm not very active there really, but I do post stuff sometimes. The Creator Studio app helps me post onto my Facebook page. And then there's Twitter, there's YouTube app, and then there is also the YT Studio app. If you are a YouTube creator, even if you're just starting out, even if you've just uploaded one video or whatever, you need to get the YT Studio app on your phone because it's amazing and it just gives you a lot of the analytics that you can see on the computer on your phone as well. It doesn't have everything, but it has enough to just help you see how your videos are doing. And then I have what has recently become one of my absolute favorite apps. It's called Notion. It's actually more of a productivity app. I mostly use it and update it and add to it on the computer. There's a little bit of a learning curve in Notion when you first start using it. You can see a glimpse of some of my different Notion pages for like my personal stuff as well as my work stuff. I have a task list, I have a place where I keep my recipes, and I have this plant life board, and this is just where I keep track of when I water my plants, because most of my plants require really infrequent watering. So this helps me know when I watered them and all of that, because I will never remember it otherwise. And I actually like having separate calendars for separate things. So there's a calendar on my Notion for my plants, there's a calendar on my Notion for my cats. When I want to know something about the cats, like when we give them some medicine, or like there's a lot of other information that I input on there just so that I can take care of them better, then I just directly open the cat care calendar, and they have their own pages also for when they're vaccinated and stuff. The phone view is not as good because your phone screen is small and it works much better on a bigger screen like a computer. The phone view is very handy in case you just want to refer to something on the go. And when it comes to my work life also, so there's this favorites section where I just kind of keep track of what I am going to add to my monthly favorites video. I'm also going to be filming 2020 favorites at the end of this year, which isn't that far away. So I've been jotting down 2020 favorites here. So I used to always be the type of person that wanted to carry my whole world on my phone. But now I mentioned I've been wanting to go a little bit more minimal this year because I'm planning to get an iPad soon. So I decided that most of my heavier apps should go on the iPad and the phone should just absolutely have what I need. So I guess I'm not trying to really minimize the amount of time that I stare at screens. But since I'm home more, since I'm not going out because there's a pandemic and all of that, I just want to stop staring into really small screen and transfer that attention into a slightly bigger screen. So after Notion, I just have 2 apps here. There's Viber and Discord. So Viber is an app that's kind of similar to WhatsApp and all, and it's just for communicating with people. You can make calls on the app or you can text message them. And Discord is an app that mainly became popular amongst gamers. You can text message there, you can have different channels, you can share GIFs, you can share links, and you can voice chat as well. So I actually have a Discord server for people who are members on my channels. So you guys know there's a membership program, right? And there's a little join button below. So if you sign up to be a member, you get access to my Discord, and we just chat about different things there, just share different information. And I have a lot of different channels in my Discord. All of my members ask each other questions, they share recommendations. I might be biased, but I think my members are just lovely people, and it's just a nice, warm and accepting space. Now we come to like the last little folder on this page. So if you can see here, the emojis that I've used are just the money face emoji and then the bag of money emoji. That's because I have financial apps in here. I just have apps for 2 of my different bank accounts. So there's a Standard Chartered app and an ICICI app. I have the Google Pay app as well, which is what I use for my UPI payments, and I absolutely love UPI. I think this is an India specific thing. It's called Unified Payments Interface, I think, and it's just really fast and also really safe. I hardly ever use my credit card when I'm using UPI, you know. So that is it for the first page. Now we move on to the second one. And here I didn't actually put the folders inside the drink, I put them above, and I have just 3 folders here. So for the first folder on this page, there's just like a nut and bolt emoji. So these are apps I kind of need to control stuff, so we will open this up. The first 2 apps are Airtel and My Jio, and that is because I have connections with both of those providers. So my main phone is Airtel. My router in my room that I actually use for Wi-Fi runs on a Jio SIM card. I have a whole video on that. So instead of getting a wired broadband connection, I actually have a Wi-Fi network in my room that works off of a SIM card, and I think it's amazing. I would definitely recommend it. The third app is AI Life. This is the app that I use to control my Huawei router. Then the fourth app that I have here is my Google Home app, because I have Google Home or Google Nest speakers. So this has both of the different speakers on the app. The first generation speakers in the master bedroom, and the new Google Nest audio is in my room. Here she is, she was right behind me. Hey Google, what's the weather like today?
In Mumbai today, it'll be mostly sunny with a forecast high of 36 and a low of 24. It's currently 35 degrees with smoke.
35 degrees, but it kind of feels a little bit cooler actually. It's been really pleasant. Thank you. So now I have just 2 more apps inside the folder basically. The first one is Imaging Edge. I shoot on a Sony camera basically. I have the camera linked in the description always. So I take most of my photo and my video on my own. Now if I'm outdoors or if I really need help, of course my mom is always there to help me, and that's always appreciated, but I like just being self-sufficient also. And this imaging app helps me be self-sufficient. I just put it on my old phone since I knew I would be using my new phone a lot for today's video, and I'm using it to monitor the video that I'm filming right now also, and I also use it to take my own pictures. So this is a little bit of phoneception for you guys. Since my camera does not have a flip out screen, this thing is really very useful for me, and I can start, stop and manage a few things as well. The connection is seamless because it connects to the camera via Wi-Fi, so it hardly takes like a minute. And the next app that I have on here is something that I downloaded recently, and I'm not really sure I'm gonna keep this app on. This is Vera, and this is just basically an app for plant parents, and I have 4 plants now. They're all visible here on the screen. I just want to be able to keep track of them, and that's why I downloaded this app, which helps me keep track of each plant and have watering and fertilizing schedules. It's okay, it's not bad, it's a free app also, but I feel like Notion does the trick for me, you know, and I don't think I need this separate app. Now we'll go to the gaming section. The first app in here is just Play Games, your Google Play gaming account or whatever. Now there are amazing games available for phones. On my previous Pixel, I had Stardew Valley, and when I first started playing Stardew Valley, it was just a computer game. They managed to port it to phones, so there is an iPhone version also available as well as an Android one. And Stardew Valley is such an expansive game, and you can actually play the entire game on your phone, the full thing. You're not playing a mini or a demo version or something. but I didn't want it on this phone. I don't want to be staring at my screen for like an hour or two at a time, and I never play Stardew Valley for little while. I always played for a minimum of 1 hour. So I just wanted games on here that would keep me entertained if I needed it for like 5 or 10 minutes at a time, but would not be super immersive really. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of Mini Metro. This is such a gorgeous minimalist puzzle game, and you basically have to control the metro grid of a city. There are so many different cities. By the way, Mumbai is also there, and it's one of the more advanced cities, of course, because we all know that Mumbai's transportation needs are very, very complex really. This is the kind of puzzle that's quite easy to understand how to play it, but really difficult to master. It starts out really chill and really zen, but it can get out of hand very fast, particularly if you choose the higher speed settings. So today's daily puzzle that I'm playing is for Osaka. This is a really addictive game. The next game that I have is Crashy Cats, because it's very on brand, as I am a crazy cat lady with 4 cats. So Crashy Cats is a fun, colorful game where you just have to kind of control a cat and help it jump. It's just continuously moving on its own, and when you tap the screen it jumps, and you just have to create maximum havoc and destruction. That's the aim of the game. My cats do create destruction at home also. Me or someone else has to clean up after them. So I think playing this game is fun because you can destroy so many things. You can set fire to stuff, and then you don't have to bother to clean up after. I'm quite happy with these 2 games on my phone, and I don't think I'll install more anytime soon. Now the final app folder on my phone, I just have yoga emoji and then like flexing arm emoji, because this is my health and wellness folder. The first app that I have on here is basically Google Fit. It's kind of depressing to go on here because of course I'm not getting any natural exercise the way that I used to by roaming around. I don't really regret that because it's way safer, I think, to stay at home now. This automatically tracks your steps and walks and stuff as you move. You don't have to manually log a workout. Then the next one that I have is Clue, and this is basically my period tracker app that helps me track my menstrual cycle. It's free. You can pay for an added subscription, but there are so many different parameters you can track in this app. It helps you track your PMS symptoms, and it just helps you make sense of things. So if there are any irregularities you're experiencing, then just track your periods. It makes your life so much easier. And I love their Instagram account also because they give so much of additional information, and I've learned a lot about my health from their social media. Next I have eMoods, which is a mood tracker app, and it helps you again see patterns and stuff, which can be really useful, I think. Unless you actually jot down that data, you're not going to be able to look back and see how things have changed. Yeah, I just need to get regular with using this app, but I love it. Next one is Sleep Sounds, which, as the name suggests, is just an app to help you play sounds to go to sleep. There are days when I'm very physically tired and I'll go to sleep very easily, but if I haven't exerted myself a lot in a particular day, if I haven't exercised or done anything physically, then sometimes I have a little bit of insomnia where I have trouble drifting off to sleep. These sounds help so much. Yeah, that's Light Rain. You can actually control like what sounds you want to add. Love Thunder. I find it very comforting. There's birds and so many other things. There's cat purring also. You can just make a mix of your favorite sounds and control the intensity. I do like the sleep playlist that Spotify has also, so you guys should go check those out if you like sleeping to music. There is a timer function also, so if you want to set it for just half an hour, 1 hour, you can do that. I think if you're ever struggling with going to sleep, just acute silence doesn't help anyone, but pleasant noises like this can really help you get in a very relaxed space. Even when I shut off the app, if I have the sounds playing, they will continue playing in the background, so that's nice. I don't actually listen to it directly on my phone. I would connect it to my speaker and it works amazingly well. The next 2 apps I have are Routinary, which is another new app that I'm just trying out. Setting a routine is a really healthy practice, and it's something that's kind of missing from my life right now. so it's something I want to start, but I haven't really started it, so I cannot tell you if this helps. Once you have a good routine in place, that'll help you get your day started right, and if you have a good nighttime routine, that will also help you sleep better. And the very final app I have on here is Audible, because I really like listening to audiobooks. And I know that there's this great debate about whether physical books made out of paper are better, or e-readers are better, or audiobooks are better. I think that they are all just completely different, and they all completely have their place. All of my school life and a little bit of my college life, I was someone who was utterly obsessed with reading, so much so that it was a bit of my personality trait. Like, I was a reader. I went to bookstores all of the time. And then somewhere along the way, I just fell out, and I don't really read that many books anymore. And it's kind of hard to sit and focus on a book. I like listening to audiobooks when I don't want to be actively reading. There are many different books here that are narrated by like different personalities, celebrities. I have been using Audible for years. I used to pay for the US subscription, which was very expensive. Now that Audible is available in India, the subscription is so cheap. Do you guys want a video of my audiobook recommendations? If so, let me know, because I could definitely work on that. It's pretty much everything that's on my Pixel 4a right now. Not a lot of apps, but we did kind of go in depth into the whole thing. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave them below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.